morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Convocation Center on the campus of the University of South Carolina, Aiken, for this volleyball match featuring the CARSON-NEWMAN Eagles and the LANDER University Bearcats. Let's meet the teams. First for CARSON-NEWMAN, a sophomore from Midlothian, Virginia, number 1, Aaron Edwards. A sophomore from Riverside, California, number 2, Elena Vasquez. A freshman from Windsor, Colorado, number 3, Taylor Rohr. A sophomore for Youngsville, North Carolina, number 4, Joy Rhodes. A junior from Ooltewah, Tennessee, number 5, Alex Biro. A junior from Castle Rock, Colorado, number 6, Kendall Cooley. A senior from Monroe, North Carolina, number 7, Natalie Harris. A sophomore from Broomfield, Colorado, number 8, Madison Rademacher. A freshman from Nashville, Tennessee, number 9, Sutton Mason. A freshman from Gum Spring, Virginia, number 11, Keely Lachinet. A senior from Saudi Daisy, Tennessee, number 12, Hannah Robertson. A sophomore from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, number 13, Megan Oldenberger. A junior from McKinney, Texas, number 14, Abby McFarland. A sophomore from Atlanta, Georgia, number 16, Katie Parnell. A sophomore from Macedon, New York, number 18, Emily Harnischfager. A sophomore from Denton, Texas, number 19, Lindsay DeVore. A junior from Goldbane, Virginia, number 20, Marnie Streeter. And wearing the dashing libero jersey this morning, a junior from Weaverville, North Carolina, Morgan Ballard. The head coach of the Eagles, Dave Franklin. The assistants, Cody DeBerry and Brandon Rowe. Now let's meet the LANDER University Bearcats. A sophomore from Peachtree City, Georgia, number 1, Nell Copeland. A sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina, number 2, Emma Efred. A freshman from Aiken, South Carolina, number 3, Boo Luther. A sophomore from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, number 4, Megan Ferris. A junior from Belleville, Texas, number 5, Riley Kinsler. A junior from Bowling Springs, South Carolina, in the upscale libero jersey, number 6, Hannah McManus. A freshman from Fort Myers, Florida, number 7, Sadie Davis. A freshman from Kyle, Texas, number 9, Caitlin Krafka. A junior from Jacksonville, Florida, number 10, Kyra Ross. A sophomore from Sarasota, Florida, number 11, Hannah Ritz. A sophomore from Spartanburg, South Carolina, number 12, Deanna Mims. A freshman from Graniteville, South Carolina, number 13, Madeline Reed. A senior from Gainesville, Florida, number 14, Amari Ashley. A freshman from Spartanburg, South Carolina, number 15, Bree Kennedy Kelly. And a freshman from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, number 17, Ellie Choate. The head coach of the Bearcats is Ashley Wright, and the assistant, Alex Bitak. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please rise as we honor America and those who defend our freedom, both at home and abroad, for the playing of our national anthem.
And a good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to USC Aiken's Convocation Center on the campus of the University of South Carolina, Aiken, for today's volleyball matchup between the CARSON-NEWMAN Eagles and the LANDER Bearcats, or the USC Aiken Invitational Tournament, again hosted by Aiken. One of the top teams in the SAC in terms of skill. CARSON-NEWMAN playing against one of the Peach Belt powerhouses in the LANDER Bearcats. So this should be a very good matchup. CARSON-NEWMAN played the first round of this tournament yesterday against USC Aiken, lost in straight sets, but it was a close match if you disregard the first set. Officials directing some traffic before we get things started up. Making sure everybody's in their right place. But CARSON-NEWMAN looks ready, LANDER looks ready. And we'll get ready to start things off. It looks like we're just about set. I'm Marcus Johnson, thanking you again for joining us on this Friday morning. LANDER will get the ball to serve first, serving it, Madeline Reed. And the serve is on its way. Here we go. Serve picked up by Oldenburger. Attack on its way from Streeter. LANDER able to get the block off. CARSON-NEWMAN setting up an attack on their own. Tipped again. Good block at the net by the Bearcats. One more time. This time it's Edwards, and she's going to slam it home for a kill and the first point of the game. Serve on its way from the libero, Morgan Ballard. LANDER working it in their zone. Going to set up an attack from deep in the zone. Corralled by the Eagles, tapped over the blockers. Good dig there from Madeline Reed. Attack on its way. That's going to sail out off of the hands of Kyra Ross. So another point for CARSON-NEWMAN. They're up 2-0. Ballard serving again. Another good serve received by Krafka. Attack on its way. Ooh, that might have gone out, but it's going to instead go out on CARSON-NEWMAN. That'll be a kill for LANDER. Anna Ritz getting credited for the kill there. LANDER is on the board, and they'll take over on serve. Caitlin Krafka back to serve it. Serve on its way. Received by Oldenburger. Set up. Edwards on the attack. Good dig there by LANDER. Keeping it going. Attack on its way from Ross. Dug out by the Eagles, setting up. Edwards on the attack over the blockers. Dug out on LANDER's side. Back over the blockers, and that's going to beat him out. Mari Ashley getting credited with the kill for the Bearcats. They've tied this one up at 2 apiece. The serve on its way. Eagles setting up. Streeter attacks and blocked at the net. Great block. Teaming up Hannah Ritz and Amari Ashley getting credited there. And LANDER has taken the lead. Oldenburger receives. Set for Edwards. Attack on its way. Ooh, awkward dig. Punch back over. Tip back down to the LANDER side where they'll corral it. Another tip. Blocked at the net. Kept alive by Ritz. Good dig there from Ballard. CARSON-NEWMAN on the attack. Streeter gets it off the top of the net. LANDER trying to work it in their zone. Attack on its way from deep. CARSON-NEWMAN back setting up. Here comes Streeter. And it's going to be a point for the Eagles. Streeter gets credited with the kill on that one. Madison Rademacher going back to serve for the Eagles as they've tied it up at 3. Serve dug on out. Set up, attack on its way from Krafka. Eagles working it deep. Attack on its way from Oldenburg. Ooh, that might have gone out, but it was dug on out by Krafka. LANDER punches it back on over where the Eagles will set up. Streeter again on the attack, dug on out by Krafka. Set, The attack, ooh, mishandled attack. Hannah Ritz put it off the side of her hand and ended up putting it in her own net. A serve on its way, and that sails out. The libero, Hannah McManus, let it go, and it was a good call. Ball soared out, point for the Bearcats. Now McManus back to serve. Her serve curls back in. CARSON-NEWMAN setting up. Oldenburger punching it on over. McManus with the setup. Here comes the attack from Ritz, and that's going to be blocked at the net. Solo block for Alex Bureau. And CARSON-NEWMAN takes the lead 5-4. Streeter goes back to serve it for CARSON-NEWMAN. And it's a service ace for CARSON-NEWMAN. McManus let it go right in front of her. I think it was a mixed communication between her and Krafka on who was going to get it. And instead of a reception, it's a service ace. Streeter again. Another good serve. A little miscommunication again, but this time McManus got a hand on it. And putting it in the back corner for the kills, Landers, Hannah Ritz. CARSON-NEWMAN frozen on that one. Nobody in the back corner, nobody could get it. And now Melissa Boo Luther, no, we're not booing her, that's just the nickname she goes by, comes in, she serves it. Tapped on over. Luther gets a hold of it. Attack on its way, that's going to sail out. Point CARSON-NEWMAN. And now Alex Bureau serving. Received by Krafka. Attack on its way, blocked at the net. Hannah McManus right there for it though, sent back over to the Eagles' side. Streeter setting it on up. Here comes the attack from Oldenburger. Back to McManus who gets the dig. Set, attack, ooh, a dig attempt there, kept alive by Streeter. They're gonna have to send it on over off the hands of Rademacher. Set up for the Bearcats, ooh, Rademacher getting the dig on that attack. Drifting over to the Bearcats side, and that's going to be a point for Lander as there were an extra touch on the CARSON-NEWMAN side. I think what happened is, actually I'm not entirely sure what happened. It almost looked like it was designed that way. I don't think any volleyball team would ever design 4 touches. Serve on its way from Kyra Ross. And that one will be sent on over by Cooley. Bearcats setting up. Here's the attack. That's going to hit the back line for the kill. Caitlin Krafka gets credited for that kill. Good placement there. Defense was caught frozen. And Ross will serve again. Serve to Streeter. Set on up. Streeter again on the attack, and that attack's going to soar out. Lander takes the point, and Lander takes the lead, 8-7. On a bit of a run here. Serve on its way, that sails out. Eagles laid off of it, good decision. Point for the Eagles, and CARSON-NEWMAN takes over on serve. And Taylor Rohr comes off the bench. She will head back to serve it. All tied up at 8. Rohr's serve on its way. Luther able to get a hand on it. Set up, attack, blocked at the net, but it's going to hit the antenna off the blockers. That's a point for Lander. Krafka getting credited with the kill again. Having herself a good game so far early on in this first set. Another substitution made. Riley Kinsler coming off the bench. She will take over for the libero, Hannah McManus. And she serves it on up. Eagles setting it up. Here comes the attack from Oldenburger. That's a kill for Oldenburger right on the back row. And we are all tied up once again. Back and forth matchup, very similar to the match yesterday between this same CARSON-NEWMAN team and Peach Belt rival, USC Aiken. Tipped on over, that's going to be a kill. Madeline Reed caught the defense sleeping. And CARSON-NEWMAN has been getting hit with that quite a bit these last couple of days. So look to see that. We'll look to see if they can make adjustments to counter that move. A serve on its way from Madeline Reed. Edwards on the attack. Good dig there from LANDER. Set up again, attack from Krafka, and she's going to hit the back line, or sideline, I should say. Far line for me, it looks like a back line. That's a kill nonetheless. LANDER takes a 2-point lead, 11-9. Reed serves it again, another short serve. Streeter has some trouble with it as it sails back to the LANDER side and tapped down in front of Edwards. Another point for the Bearcats. Serve, straight to Ballard. Rose sets it up, tapped on over, and that is a kill for number 16, Katie Parnell. And Parnell earning a break after that kill, heads to the bench. And it looks like Alex Biro back out. Ballard to serve. Bit of an odd reception, but it was nice and high in the air, so it'll be sent back over by Krafka. Rose setting it on up for Edwards. Edwards attack soars through the back and out. That's another point for LANDER. LANDER holding on to a 3-point lead right now, and they'll look to Caitlin Krafka to serve to extend it. Good serve, Oldenburger. Rose sets up for Edwards. Edwards on the attack. McManus gets the dig there. Another setup and attack from Krafka. Good dig there from Ballard. Rose setting up again. This attack coming from Rhodes. LANDER working it in their zone. Krafka's attack off the blocker. Edwards gets a hand on it, so does Ballard, and Ollendorf will try to send it on over, but they're going to get called on a violation. One extra touch. I didn't see that either. So they're going to actually, the officials are going to convene right now. So they're going to replay the point. I was going to say, I thought it was a clean play. But we'll replay the point. Score remains at 13-10. Rhodes on the attack, tips it over the blockers, and a great effort there from Madeline Reed, but she can't get it there in time. And her dig falls short, so it'll be a point for CARSON-NEWMAN. Madison Rademacher coming back onto the court. She will head back to serve now. 13-11 your score. Bearcats with a slim lead over the Eagles. Rademacher's serve on its way. McManus receives. Set up, attack, hits the blockers and kept alive. Another setup. Here comes the attack from Krafka. Again off the blockers. This one goes through though. Bearcats on the attack, or not Bearcats, the Eagles on the attack, and they get through the blockers for the kill. And it's a 1-point game. Serve on its way. Ooh, bad handle there for McManus as she ended up pushing it straight in front of her. And that'll be a service ace for Madison Rademacher, and we are tied at 13. Another serve. This one handled a bit cleanly, but nobody there to receive it. LANDER able to reconvene and send the attack on over. Rhodes attacking, blocked at the net. That's going to be a point for LANDER. They're going to call that one ball down. Now, no block. The ball just went into the net. Although LANDER, I'm sure, was happy to take the point either way. We'll see Hannah McManus serve. Her serve. Good serve there. Nice spin on it. Nice curve. Rhodes on the attack. Beats it over the blockers, but kept alive. Tipped on back over. Eagles corral. Set up Rhodes. Attacks again. Gets through the blockers, but McManus gets the dig. Another good setup, but she just crossed the line. Madeline Reed just a foot too far. That'll be a point for LANDER. Be a point for Eagles. All tied at 14 apiece. Emily Harnischfeger comes on to serve. Set up and attacked at the net. Gets through the blockers, but is kept alive. Here comes an attack, this one from Kendall Cooley, where Lander will set it up for an attack of their own. Punch through the blockers. Nice job by Ballard to get to that ball. And unable to get it through is number 13, Megan Oldenberger. She tried to send it across the net. She succeeded, but she kept it on her side. And now Boo Luther back onto the court, heads back to serve. Eagles setting up for the attack. Cooley sends it on over, and she's going to get the kill right in front of Caitlin Krafka, who tried to make an effort on it, could not. Once again, we are tied up at 15. Long serve, that sails out, point Lander. And this serve coming from Kyra Ross, Eagles working it. Here comes the attack from Cooley. Luther got a dig on that one, but a ball handling error will blow the play dead. And another point for the Eagles. Back and forth, the score keeps going, and so does the serve. Taylor Rohr coming back onto the court and heading right back to serve. This very well may be a 5-set match if things keep going the way they are. As I can't see either team having much of an advantage over the other. Very evenly matched early on. Luther has a little trouble with it, but she gets bailed out. Blocked at the net and slammed back down.
The ball is down.
Point for CARSON-NEWMAN, and that shifts the lead, and that's going to draw a timeout from Lander. 17-16 in set number 1 for CARSON-NEWMAN over the Lander. We'll be right back in just a moment. And welcome back. Timeout concludes. We'll get right back to volleyball. CARSON-NEWMAN with a 1-point lead over the Lander Bearcats, 17-16 as we enter the later parts of set number 1. Taylor Rohr back to serve for CARSON-NEWMAN. Her serve on its way. Luther gets it. Attack on its way through the blockers, dug on out by Rohr. Ballard brings it back on in, where it'll be sent on over by Oldenberger. Bearcats setting up the attack. Here it comes from Krafka. Ooh, CARSON-NEWMAN able to keep it going and sent on over by Harnischfeger. Bearcats back on the attack. And Boo Luther coming up with the kill there. Oh, no, not number 6. Oh, no, it was Caitlin Krafka coming up with the kill there. Thought it was Boo Luther for a moment, but I was mistaken. Krafka coming up big. A lot of kills for Krafka. We'll take a look at her stats come the first break. Here comes the attack from Oldenberger off the blockers and kept alive. Rohr sets it up. Oldenberger back on the attack. Gets it over the blockers and finds the corner for the kill. Now Joy Rhodes comes back onto the court for Harnischfeger. Going back to serve is Oldenberger. Serve on its way. Luther gets a handle on it. Set up. Here comes the attack from Krafka. Gets through the blockers right to Ballard. Rhodes on the attack off the top of the net and down. That's a point for Lander. just missed the side, the back corner there. So Lander will tie the game up again. Madeline Reed will come in to serve. Reed serve, good serve. Rhodes, ooh, good job there for Rourke just to stay on. Didn't get the net violation call. Here comes the attack from Krafka. Nice job there by Lander to get the dig out. Rhodes again on the attack. Ooh, McManus almost collided, but she got the dig. Krafka again off the blockers and down. A kill for Caitlin Krafka. She has been on fire today, and it's a big reason that Lander has 19 points. Serve on its way. Ballard receives. Set up by Oldenburger. Rhodes just going to punch it on over. McManus right there for it. Set up for Krafka again. She can't tip it through the blockers, but they got a handle on it. Keeps the play alive. Rose sets it up. Edwards attacking, and Edwards gets it past McManus, who had to lunge for it, but couldn't get a good enough hold on it to get the dig. That's another point for the Eagles, and we are tied at 19. Ballard back to serve. And that serve sails. Ooh, no, it doesn't sail out. It hits the back line, just barely kissed it. Service ace for Morgan Ballard. CARSON-NEWMAN takes the lead. Ballard again serving. A little more spin on this one. Set on up. Here comes the attack. Actually, more just sending it on over. Edwards on the attack now, and that's going to be a kill for Edwards as Madeline Reed couldn't hold on to that one. And Lander now with a 2-point lead late in the set. Ballard again. McManus receives it cleanly. Ooh, they're going to call that one a illegal attack. Lander was just set up for a bad situation there as the ball was sailing towards the CARSON-NEWMAN side, and they just tried to save it at the last second. They could not, and we're going to have a timeout. 22-19 is your score. We'll be back after a short break. And welcome back. Marcus Johnson here again, thanking you for joining us on your Friday morning. CARSON-NEWMAN Eagles and Lander Bearcats doing battle here at USC Aiken. CARSON-NEWMAN with a 22-19 lead late in set number 1. It's been a pretty back-and-forth matchup so far and very even on the court. This is the very first real advantage I think that either team has had in terms of quality of play. So Ballard again will serve it. Good serve, good reception. Tapped at the net and blown dead. It's going to be a point for CARSON-NEWMAN. Net violation, the call. And actually, this is now the largest lead that either team has had. Only 4 points. That just shows you it's been a close one so far. Ballard again will serve. Another good serve, another good reception. Set. Here comes the attack from Ritz. Eagles working it back in their own zone. Rohr sets it up for Rhodes. Rhodes attack, dug out by McManus. Here comes the setup and attack from Krafka, and Krafka gets through the blockers and right on the back corner for the kill. Lander not out of it yet. They get to their 20th point, 23-20. And Elena Vasquez coming onto the court. She's subbing in for CARSON-NEWMAN. Back to serve. Caitlin Krafka for Lander. Ballard receives the serve. Here comes the setup. Edwards on the attack. Good job by Krafka to dig it out. Set and attack from Ross, and that's going to be blocked. Solo block for Aaron, oh, not a solar block. Aaron Edwards and Alex Biro team up for the block, and it is set point Carson-Newman, 24-20. Serve on its way. McManus receives. Here's the set and the attack. That's going to get over the heads of the blockers and off of the hands of Ballard. Hannah Ritz gets the kill on that one. 24-21. Lander not done yet. McManus with the serve. Oldenburger receives. Ballard set and just sent on over by Oldenburger, where Lander will get up the attack. Krafka on the attack now, set up an attack from Carson-Newman side. Rhodes sending it on over. Tap back on over. Ooh, almost a net violation there, but she's able to stay on. Off of the top of the net and down. It's another point for Lander. An extra touch. Carson-Newman trying to make a case that it was blocked and the point was still alive, but no dice. The officials say otherwise. And as we all know, they have the final word, 24-22. Lander trying to make the comeback here. Still set point for Carson-Newman. Nice short serve. Oldenburger working it up to Streeter, who gets it on over. Now Lander having to set up an attack of their own, and Krafka sends it out, just missing the back corner, and that is point and set for Carson-Newman. 25-22, the final of set number one. A good first set, indicating this is going to be a good match. We'll move on to set number two in just a short minute, with Carson-Newman leading Lander 1-0. And welcome back to the USC Aiken Convocation Center. Carson-Newman Eagles versus Lander Bearcats. Carson-Newman leading 1-0 over Lander. Looking at some of the stats, Carson-Newman has 3 service aces on the day. That's a big reason why they won set number one. team leaders for Lander, well, basically, Caitlin Krafka leads almost every single stat in that category. 5 kills on the day, 5 points on the day, and she also has, as soon as I pull up the digs, she also has 8 digs on the day, tied with Hannah McManus for the lead there. She is putting in overtime out there. CARSON-NEWMAN's leaders in terms of kills is Erin Edwards with 3. Oldenburger has 2 right behind her. Points on the day, Erin Edwards again with 3.5 points leads for CARSON-NEWMAN. We're just really spread out over the board. Everybody doing work for CARSON-NEWMAN trying to get the win today. In terms of digs, Morgan Ballard has 10 of them. She leads the Eagles in that category. So we'll get right back to it with set number 2. Both teams have taken their respective sides as we have flip-flopped. And since I believe Lander served first, I'm pretty sure CARSON-NEWMAN is serving now. I could be crazy. It's been known to happen. And, yep, Oldenburger going back to serve for the Eagles. So a fresh scoreboard, 1-0 CARSON-NEWMAN, 0-0 in the second set. First serve, good serve there. Lander working it in their zone, tapped on over, and that is a kill for Caitlin Krafka. I was actually surprised she only had 5 kills. Now she has 6 kills on the day. It seemed like she had a few more than that, but a lot of her attacks have been canceled out on great dig efforts by CARSON-NEWMAN. We saw that yesterday. Great defensive play from the Eagles. Ooh, little miscommunication. Nobody got there in time. Streeter able to send an attack on over. Lander setting it up. Tapped onto the top of the net. Kept alive. Tipped back on Lander's side and down. That is a point for the Eagles. Katie Parnell getting credited with the kill. Ties things up at 1. Now Ballard will serve it. Good serve there. Lander working it. Copeland setting it on up. Here comes the attack from Ross. That one sails out. Point Eagles. Ballard again to serve. Ooh, this looks like a service ace, and it will be a service ace. Krafka couldn't handle the serve well. That is the 4th service ace of the day, and I believe that's Ballard's 2nd service ace. Serve on its way. And another service ace for Ballard. Not Alex Bureau. She's on the CARSON-NEWMAN side. Hannah McManus couldn't get her hand on it. So 4-1 now, CARSON-NEWMAN over Lander. This time the serve is handled cleanly. Copeland sets it up. Here comes the attack. Oldenburger got a handle on it. Here comes the attack through the Lander blockers. Copeland sets it up. Ira Ross on the attack. Ballard digs it out. Set up an attack for Edwards and a block. Big block there from Imari Ashley. And Kyra Ross gets the assist as well. Lander gets the point. And he'll take over on serve. McManus' serve, and McManus gets the service ace. First service ace of the day for Lander. And they have pulled within 1 now, 4-3, CARSON-NEWMAN. McManus again serving. Streeter got a handle on it. Now she'll attack through the blockers, and she'll get the kill right in front of Hannah McManus. Couldn't get a hand under it. And now Rademacher coming back onto the court. She will head straight back to serve with a 2-point lead. Good serve. Lander working it. Copeland sets it up. And the play is blown dead. I believe ball handling error, the call. Waiting for the official call. We don't have an official call, so we'll look at the stat sheet for that one. Eagles still with the serve. Copeland with the setup. Here comes the attack. That gets through the CARSON-NEWMAN blockers, but sent right back over to the Lander side. Sent right back over to the Eagles. This one might be a kill. It will be a kill. Number 5, Riley Kinsler gets credited with that one. Madeline Reed will come in to serve for Lander. Streeter got her hand on the serve. Attack on its way. And the play will be blown dead. Biro gets credited with the kill on that point. So 7-4 now your score, Carson-Newman. Streeter back to serve. Streeter's serve to McManus. Set up, attack from Krafka. She gets it through the blockers. Dug on out though. Streeter, bad set, but Oldenburger bails her out by sending it on over. Attack on its way, and that breaks through the blockers. Credit the kill to Riley Kinsler.
Number 5, Riley Kinsler.
Good job on beating those Carson-Newman blockers. Not easy to do, but that she found a way. Pulls Lander within 2. Kyra Ross serving. Also serve, Oldenburger handles it. Set up, back for Oldenburger, and Oldenburger just gets the back line there, gets the kill. Another point for Carson-Newman. Alex Biro serves, McManus has to charge it. She gets to it though. Krafka's attack, handled over on the Carson-Newman side, but it's put into the net on Carson-Newman's attack. Another point for Lander. Serve comes back to their end. We're back to back and forth, back and forth. Riley Kinsler serve. Streeter. Set up, attack from Biro. Handled a little awkwardly on the Lander end, and that's going to end up being downed. And they're going to say Kendall Cooley gets credited with the kill on that one. Elena Vasquez comes onto the court, heads right back to serve with a 9-6 lead. Serve picked up by Lander. Krafka on the attack, runs into the blockers, but recovers in time. Sent back right into the blockers. Good blocking from Carson-Newman, and Lander's just going to end up sending it back on over. Ballard digs that one out. Attack on its way from Edwards, back to the Carson-Newman side, and it's slammed down. Katie Parnell made him pay as the ball drifted on the dig try. And it'll go for a Eagle point, and we'll draw a timeout from Lander. 10-6 is your score here in set number 2. Carson-Newman leading Lander. We are back from the timeout. Marcus Johnson here again, thanking you for joining us at the USC Aiken Convocation Center for Friday morning volleyball. Carson-Newman leading 10-6 in the second set over Lander, and also 1-0 overall. Lander works it after the serve. Here comes the attack from Ross. Ballard digs it out. Set and attack from Oldenburger. Nice dig there from Kyra Ross. Lander sets up the attack. Krafka tries to look for the back corner, can't find it as it sails out. Another point for Carson-Newman. Now what you want to do when you come up fresh off a timeout is give a point right to your opponent. That's exactly what happened there. Vasquez again serving. Bad reception. That'll be a service ace for Elena Vasquez.
Elena Vasquez. Point Eagles.
Serve on its way. Worked in the Lander zone. That's going to hit the antenna. Who touched it? They're going to say Lander touched it. That's another point for Carson-Newman, 13-6. It looks like Lander can stop the bleeding right now in the second set. Lander working it in their zone. Here comes the attack from Ross. Dug on out by Oldenburger. Attack from Streeter, gets through the blockers. McManus getting her hands on to get the dig. Another attack from Ross, right back to Ballard, who digs it out. Set up from Vasquez, attack from Oldenburger, and she puts it right on the back line. Great placement by Oldenburger to get the kill. And Lander's going to sub in Boo Luther for Ross. Usually she comes in to serve, but right now they think they need her out there for defensive reasons. Serve on its way, and that sails out. Well, it must have worked because that is the first point Lander's gotten in quite a while. They finally stopped the Carson-Newman run. And Lander gets the serve back on their side. Nell Copeland comes off the bench and goes right back to serve. Serve from Copeland. Streeter was there for it. Attack on its way. That is a kill for Katie Parnell. Beating the Lander side on the left. Right on that line. Great placement there for Carson-Newman and and Katie Parnell. Now Oldenburger back to serve. 15-7 Carson-Newman leads it. McManus to Copeland. Set for Krafka. Good attack, good dig. Well, not a great dig, but it's bailed out and sent back on over. Copeland again setting it up. Here comes the attack. That hits the antenna and will be a point for the Eagles. Oldenburger's serve off the top of the net. Great job, though, from Amari Ashley to keep that one alive, but the ball ends up. The ball ends up in the net, but Aaron Edwards and Katie Parnell team up for a block on that one. And another timeout coming from Lander. They need to figure out what's going on. They trail by 10, 17-7 here in set number 2. We're going to take another short break. Be right back. And we are back. Lander trying to figure out this Carson-Newman team here in the second set as Carson-Newman leads 17-7 and 1 set overall. I think the Eagles trying to get some last-minute details from the officials or something. Must have been too major because they were right back and ready to go. Oldenburger still serving. Serve on its way. McManus receives. Copeland sets it up. Attack. Tipped by the blockers. Right back on over where Luther will get to it. Bumped on over by Krafka. CARSON-NEWMAN setting up for the attack. Parnell's attack runs into a blocker from Lander. I believe a solo block for Amari Ashley. Oh, they're going to give that one to Hannah Ritz. I thought I saw Amari Ashley go up for it. I could be mistaken, though. Either way, it's a point for Lander. Krafka's serve worked in the Eagle zone. Streeter's attack goes off her hand in an awkward way, but is still playable. Getting a good dig there was Oldenburger. Bumped on over by Edwards. Lander corralling it in the zone. Attack back on over from Ashley. That'll be a kill for Amari Ashley. Krafka again serving. Another good serve. Oldenburger got to it. Edwards on the attack. Worked in the Lander end. Sent back on over. A kill coming up for Hannah Ritz, finding the back corner and beating the back row completely. Lander working their way back in. 17-10 now. Oldenburger receives that one. Set up by Vasquez, and a ball handling error, the call. Another point for Lander. 4-point run for the Bearcats now. Oldenburger receives the serve. Tipped on over by Parnell. Copeland sets it on up. Here's the attack, and that sails out. Point Eagles. Great try, though, from Kyra Ross, looking for that line there. Just barely missed it. And the Eagles will take advantage of it. And just before the serve, we got to mop up the floor a little bit. As we were saying yesterday, any moisture on the floor could be very dangerous. We've already seen a few slips in this season. Fortunately, none here at USC Aiken have resulted in serious injury. Ballard, good serve. Krafka receives it. Copeland sets it up. Here's the attack. And that'll be a kill for Hannah Ritz. Great kill from Ritz. The Lander gets the ball back, gets the point. And they're back within 6. McManus serving. And McManus with another service ace off of the hands of Oldenburger and out. And CARSON-NEWMAN will now be forced to take a timeout as they have surrendered 6 of the last 7 points. They still lead 18-13, but Lander fighting to come back, and they just might do it. Well, then I take another short break. Be right back. And we are back. Looking at some of the numbers, still a very evenly matched up game. However, the difference is definitely errors, with Lander committing more errors in every category except service than CARSON-NEWMAN. Well, they'll put that in the back of their mind as they only trail by 5. McManus getting the dig there. Copeland sets it up. Here comes the attack, gets through the blockers, kept alive, and can they send it on over? Yes, Oldenburger does send it over. Lander setting up for another attack. Krafka Gets it in, Ballard digging it out. Vasquez with the setup, and that's going to sail too far. Goes on the wrong side of the antenna. Or no, it's just a ball handling error. Either way, it looked like it was going to be a Lander point. And just like that, Lander is within 4. What a fight from this Bearcats squad. McManus. Ollenberger receives, sets up. Here's the attack from Streeter off the blockers, where Krafka will get the dig. Copeland with the setup. Here comes the attack from Ritz, and that runs into the blockers. They're going to say Biro and Streeter get credited with the block on that one. Carson-Newman gets the ball back on their side. Still leading 19-14, but they had a serve. Here comes the attack from Streeter. Great job by McManus to get the dig there. Attack on its way from Lander. Ballard digs it out. Set up an attack from Streeter. Play blown down. It's going to be a kill for Marnie Streeter. And Harnischfeger comes onto the court now. She'll go straight back to serve with Carson-Newman leading 22-15 in set number 2. And her serve goes right into the net. That's a point for Lander. Blue Luther back to serve. Fresh off the bench. Serve on its way. Ballard receives. Set, attack on its way, and that just misses the back corner. That's a point for the Bearcats. Luther will serve again. Harnischfeger receives the serve. Set up for Oldenburger. Blocked at the net, kept alive, sent right back on over. Ball still up in the air. Harnischfeger can't reach it. That's a point for the Bearcats. Madeline Reed getting the kill on that play. 22-18. Luther serving again. Here comes the attack from the Eagles. Good dig there from Reed. Set up, attack from Krafka. Ballard gets the dig there. And now Oldenburger trying to tap it over the blocker. She does, but it's dug on out. Luther attacking now, and Boo Luther comes up with the kill.
The kill to number 3, Boo Luther.
And we're going to have another momentary break as they mop up the court. 22-19, Lander now within 3. At one point, they were trailing by 10. Luther to serve. Bad reception, and that's going to be a service ace for Boo Luther. Ballard just couldn't hold on. They couldn't get the serve cleanly, and nobody was able to bail her out. 22-20. Luther again serves. Nice dead ball serve there. Up in the air, attack. Luther gets a nice dig on it. Set up. Krafka attacking. Ballard gets a good dig there. Another set and attack from Oldenburger, and that one's going to be blocked but sent out. Kill for Oldenburger and a point for CARSON-NEWMAN. They finally stopped the bleeding, and they have a 23-20 lead. A 10-point lead. The one thing that's saving them in this second set is it has been all Lander in the late parts. Good serve. Attack on its way. Kill for number 5, Riley Kinsler. Just an absolute bullet that she sent on over. And the Bearcats get another point, 23-21. Kinsler will go back to serve. Serve, Harnischfeger receives. Set and attack. That finds the back line for the kill. Katie Parnell getting the kill there, and it is set point for CARSON-NEWMAN, 24-21. Vasquez back to serve it for the Eagles, trying to serve for the set. Good serve, Luther right there for it. Set up by Reed, attack. Off the blockers and down. That is a kill for number 9, Caitlin Krafka. And it is 24-22. They are not done just yet. Hannah Ritz and Nell Copeland coming back onto the court. Copeland will go back to serve. Serve on its way. Harnischfeger receives, set up by Vasquez. The attack from Oldenburger, blocked! Lander gets the point. Hannah Ritz and Amari Ashley team up for the block, 24-23. It is a 1-point game, although it is still set point CARSON-NEWMAN. Good serve. Handled awkwardly, but kept alive. Oldenburger sends it over and sends it out, and we are tied at 24. It is the first to 26 for set number 2. What a comeback from Lander. Another good dead ball serve. Harnischfeger gets a handle on it. Vasquez sets it up for Oldenburger, and Oldenburger using a little bit of adrenaline to slam that one down to the right of McManus, and it's back to set point CARSON-NEWMAN. Oldenburger back to serve now. 25-24, Eagles over Lander. And the serve goes into the net. We're tied again at 25. Now it's a verse to 27. Davis comes back on for Lander. Luther heads off. Krafka going back to serve. Oldenburger has it awkwardly, but Edwards gets it, and it's into the net off of the hands of Oldenburger. We are now at set point Lander, and that will draw a timeout from CARSON-NEWMAN. Honestly, didn't think we'd be at this point in set number 2, but here we are. Lander up 26-25, looking to take set 2. (27-25) in set number 2 to tie things up at 1 set apiece. We're going into set number 3 after a short break. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Set number 3 about to get underway. Great comeback from the Lander Bearcats in set number 2 to take it. They were trailing at one point 17-7, and they win the set 27-25. Just absolute, just sheer fight from Lander. Just great job. I mean, honestly, that was a beautiful comeback there. Way to not quit. Got to give them praise when you can. And it wasn't that Carson-Newman was making too many mistakes. It's just Lander was playing really good in that second set. But they'll look to come back. Lander looking to get what the success they had in set number 1. Or Carson-Newman, yeah. Carson-Newman looking to have the success they had in set number 1. We'll see what happens. A couple of stats of note. Still pretty even on all terms. Carson-Newman leads with 32 points over Lander's 30. Kills in favor of Lander, 23-22, but still very, very close in all regards. The biggest lead anybody has is actually total attacks, which Lander has 90 to 85 on Carson-Newman, and that's one of the reasons why they managed to win. They're really taking their chances in terms of sending attacks on over. So we'll get right back to it, all tied at 1 set apiece here in set 3. Nell Copeland will serve. Good serve from Copeland. Ballard receives. Vasquez sets it up, and it's tipped back on down, still alive, and Vasquez getting it on over. Slammed on down, and that'll be a kill for Amari Ashley. Lander picking up right where they left off. They're running on pure adrenaline right now. Copeland serving again. Ooh, almost a service ace there. Ballard able to get her hand under it in time. Streeter, great attack. Dig by McManus, still alive. And that'll be sent on over. I'm not sure who sent it on over. It's Copeland and Ballard, or not, Copeland and McManus tried to get to it, but Vaughn trying to figure out who's who. Katie Parnell slams one home for the kill to get the point for Carson-Newman. Morgan Ballard serving. Her serve to her counterpart, McManus. Set and attack from Krafka. Corralled in the Carson-Newman side, and that's going to be out. Oh no, it just kissed the line. Kill for Marnie Streeter, I believe that was. Ballard serving. See by Krafka. Set by Copeland. Here's the attack from Ritz. Nice dig there by Ballard. Rohr sets it up for Edwards. Edwards gets it off the blocker. Still alive on the Eagles side, but they're going to get called with a ball handling error after a desperation attempt by Rohr and Edwards. Lander will tie it up at 2. Krafka gets the serve. Edwards on the attack. Off of the hands of Copeland. That might have sailed out had she not touched it. But either way, it will be a Carson-Newman point. They've taken the lead. Rademacher back to serve now. McManus receives the serve. It'll be set at the net. Here comes the attack from Ritz. Blocked, sent right back on over. Carson-Newman trying to set up for the attack again. Streeter gets blocked. Still alive and sent on over by Ballard. Ritz getting that one. Set by Copeland. Here's another attack. Rademacher gets it. Set up. Attack on its way. McManus there for the dig. Copeland just sending it on over. Trying to catch him asleep. Carson-Newman wide awake, however, as it's bumped right back on over to the Lander side. Copeland sets it up again. Ritz trying to get through the blockers. Cannot. Right back to her side. Carson-Newman now working it on the dig. McManus gets it. Copeland sets it. Off the blockers and alive. Set up from Rademacher. Here comes Streeter. Taps it over the blockers where Copeland gets to it. McManus now working it. Sets for Krafka. Good dig there by Rademacher. Biro sets it. Here comes the attack. Krafka gets a handle on it, sets up the attack on the Landers side. Good job from Carson-Newman keeping this point alive. Streeter taps it through the blockers and down. Long, hard-fought point, and Carson-Newman comes away the victor as they get that point after a lot of effort. Rademacher back to serve again. Serve to Davis. Copeland sets it back on up. Here's Ritz on the attack. Gets through the blockers to the liberos. Still going on here. Streeter sets it up. Attack from Biro, and that's going to be down. Kill for Biro. Serve on its way. Krafka receives. Set from Copeland. Now Krafka back on the attack. Tips it off the blockers where it's kept alive. Oldenburger to Streeter. Streeter gets it on through, but it's dug on out by Krafka. Copeland sets it up again. Davis trying to beat the blockers, could not. McManus with a set of her own. Davis again can't get through the blockers. Good blocking effort from Carson-Newman. Another attack denied by the blockers, but this one goes out, and it'll be a point for Lander. Hannah Ritz gets the kill on that, and they'll take over on serve. And McManus serving it. Serve on its way, Ballard receives. Set up by Rademacher. Streeter's attack goes off the blockers high into the air. Copeland now setting it up. Krafka gets it on through. Rademacher, nice dig. Streeter again attacking. McManus right there for the dig. Set up and attack from Ritz, and her attack sails out. That's a point for the Eagles. Streeter to serve it. Serve comes on through. Krafka gets it. Set up and attacked off the blockers and into the air. Oldenburger sets it up. Here comes the attack. Still alive. McManus. Long set across the court. Ballard gets a dig on that one. Oldenburger sets. That one will just be sent right back on over to the Landers side. Tipped on over, and that'll be a kill. Kinsler gets credited with the kill on that one. Couldn't see who touched it. A big thank you to the PA here at USC Aiken for clarifying who got it. Lander gets the point. Lander takes over on the serve. Madeline Reed serving. Serve on its way. Streeter. Oldenburger sets. Tipped on over by Biro. And the play will be blown dead. It'll be a point for Carson-Newman. One too many touches is the call. Eagles will take the point, and they'll get the serve back on their end. Biro to serve. Serve on its way. Krafka receives. Set on up. Attack gets through. Tip back on over by Carson-Newman. McManus was ready for it. Long set for Davis, and her attack sails through the back end, and that'll be a point for Carson-Newman. Biro again with the serve. Krafka receives. Set on up by Reed. And sent on over by Krafka. Almost caught him sleeping, but Carson-Newman able to get back to it. Ball handling error call coming up. That'll be against Katie Parnell. So a point for Lander. They'll take over on serve again. Sadie Davis back. Her serve received by Streeter. Set up by Rademacher, and another ball handling error the call. Back-to-back ball handling errors result in back-to-back points for Lander. 8-6 now your score. Need to blow the play dead just as the serve was coming over. We'll just do it all over again. Davis's serve, back to Streeter again. Set up by Rademacher, attack, gets through and down. That'll be a kill for Kendall Cooley. Rademacher heads off, as does Cooley. Taylor Rohr coming onto the court. Looks like Edwards as well, Aaron Edwards. Serve to McManus. Reed sets it up. Here comes the attack. Streeter able to get her hands under it in time. Edwards now attacking. Another dig from McManus. Trying to tap it on over, but unable to was Deanna Mims. She tried to just tap it on through, but she ended up putting it right into her net. So another point for Carson-Newman. 10-6 the score. Serve from Roar. McManus again. Set on up. Here's the attack from Krafka. Miscommunication. Ballard got her hands on it, though. Oldenburger tries to fight her way through. She does. Gets it through the blockers. Oldenburger gets credited with the kill. Luther coming onto the court now for Lander as we took a moment to mop up things. Roar still serving for Carson-Newman. And that serve sails out. That's the second time that's happened where Luther's come on and the ball has been served right on out through the back end. Maybe Lander's onto something here. Kinsler now serving it up. Streeter receives that serve. Roar sets it on up. Oldenburger breaks through the blockers, and that one will be down. Kill for Oldenburger and point for Carson-Newman. Serve on its way. Luther receives it. Set on up for Krafka, and Krafka will get the kill as Taylor Roar couldn't handle it on the dig. Lander takes over on serve again. And Nell Copeland will come on. She'll go straight back to serve. Lander trailing Carson-Newman 12-8. Serve from Copeland. Ballard receives. Roar sets it on up. Here's the attack from Streeter. McManus right there for the dig while Copeland sets it back up for Luther, and Luther puts it into the net. Point Eagles. Now Ballard to serve. And that serve sails out. Point Lander. The serve coming from Krafka just gets it over the net. Oldenburger received. Edwards now attacking. McManus sets it on up. Here comes the attack, and that will be down and a kill for Kyra Ross. Well, again, Krafka to serve. Ballard receives, set from Roar. Here's Streeter on the attack, tapping it over the blockers. And there was nobody there. McManus charged up, but pulled back at the last second. That'll be a kill for Carson-Newman. Rademacher back onto the court, as is Cooley. Rademacher back to serve. Eagles up 14-10 here in set 3, all tied up one set apiece. McManus receives the serve. Copeland sets it on up. Here comes the attack from Ritz. Gets it on the... Oh, I was going to say I thought they were calling an antenna there, but they're going to wave it off. And that will be a kill for Streeter. She puts it right on the back line. And a timeout will be called. Looks like it's coming from the Lander side. 15-10 is your score as we are in set number 3 with Carson-Newman leading Lander. We'll be right back. we are back. Timeout closes out. Volleyball will get back in action. Marcus Johnson here. Again, thank you for joining us this Friday morning for the matchup between CARSON-NEWMAN and LANDER. CARSON-NEWMAN leading 15-10 in this third set, all tied 1 set apiece. And McManus received the serve cleanly, but not sure what happened there as nobody went to pick it up after she got the serve, so it'll be a service ace for Rademacher. And Rademacher serving again. Ooh, almost another service ace. Gonna have trouble with this one. Can they send it back on over? No, they cannot. Just a bad reception for Kyra Ross, and it'll be another service ace for Rademacher. Back-to-back service aces. 17-10 now your score. And that one, well, I think Ross had a bad reception on it, but CARSON-NEWMAN wasn't expecting it to come back to their side. They all converged and ended up colliding with each other, and that allowed the ball to get through. The LANDER takes the point. They'll take over on serve. McManus back to serve it. Set up. Here's the attack on its way from Biro. LANDER sending it right back on over. Great effort there from Rademacher to keep the point going. Oldenburger sends it on in where McManus digs it out. Attack gets through the blockers and down. Hannah Ritz getting credited with the kill there. Great way to just power through the blockers of CARSON-NEWMAN. McManus, good serve there. Streeter receives. Rademacher with the setup, back for Streeter, gets it on through. High into the air, tap back down by CARSON-NEWMAN. LANDER working it in their zone, attack back on over where Ballard dug it out. Oldenburger digs it through, attacks I should say. And that ball's gonna sail on out off the hands of, I believe it was Kyra Ross. But it'll be a point for CARSON-NEWMAN nonetheless, 18-12. Arnischweger back out onto the court, serving with a 6-point lead. Off the top of the net, Krafka, great job from Krafka to come up and get it, but everybody lost sight of it, so it'll be a service ace for Arnischweger. It looks like Riley Kinsler just lost sight of where the ball went. And by the time she picked it up, it was already too late. Another good job from Krafka to get that. Kept on the LANDER side, but again, unable to catch up to it was Kinsler. It'll be a point for CARSON-NEWMAN again, and that will draw another timeout. We are at a score of 20-12. LANDER trailing by 8, but they've been down by bigger and have come back to win a set. We'll see if they've got that in them one more time here in set 3. And we'll get right back to it. 20 points for CARSON-NEWMAN, 12 for LANDER here in set number 3. Tied 1 set apiece. CARSON-NEWMAN took set 1, LANDER took set 2. Who will take set 3? That's anybody's guess. Arnischweger still back to serve. Good serve. Copeland sets it on up, blocked at the net, still kept alive. McManus setting things up for Ritz, where Ballard will get the dig. Tapped right on over everybody. LANDER keeping it going though, tipped on over and down. That will be a kill for Kyra Ross. as Rademacher couldn't get to it in time, just punched it right back into the ground. So Lander will take the point, and they'll take over on the serve. Reed to serve it. Serve on its way. Ballard receives. Rademacher sets it on up for Oldenburger off the top of the net, and that will be down off a fingertip of a blocker and the top of the net, and that results in a point for the Eagles. Biro serving now. Serve to Krafka. Set by Reed. Here comes the attack off the blockers and down. Cooley and Parnell team up for the block there, and another point for Carson-Newman, 22-13. Biro with the serve again. Krafka receives. Set on up by Mims and sent on over by Krafka. Harnischweger gets the dig there. Attack from Oldenburger, but blocked and sent straight down. Mims and Kinsler get credited with the block there. And it will be 22-14 with Boo Luther coming in to serve. Luther's serve on its way. Harnischweger receives. Rademacher sets it on up for Oldenburg. Great dig from McManus. Reed sets it up for Krafka, and Krafka sends it out. Point Eagles. And Rohr coming back on, going to the back line to serve it up. 2 more points before Carson-Newman can close out this third set. Rohr's serve on its way. McManus receives it. Set on up. Attack from Krafka. Just finds the line. That'll be a kill for Lander. Serve, Harnischweger receives it. Set from Rohr. Here's the attack from Oldenburger. Plays blown dead, and it's going to be a point for Oldenburger. Net violation, the call on the court. So it is set point Carson-Newman, 24-15. Oldenburger back to serve. Good serve, Luther right there for it. Reed sets it on up. Krafka runs into the blockers, and that one's down. Point and set for Carson-Newman, and they now take a 2-1 lead in sets as they take set number 3 by a score of 25-15. We'll be back after a short break for set number 4 between Carson-Newman and Lander. And a warm welcome back, folks. CARSON-NEWMAN versus Lander, moving on to set number 4. Eagles leading the Bearcats 2-1 after taking set 3. Interesting statistic of note, 10 total service aces for the CARSON-NEWMAN Eagles. I think that's the most I've ever seen in a single volleyball match. And leading the way in service aces, both Madison Rademacher and Morgan Ballard with 3 apiece. Harnisch-Fager has 2, and Marnie Streeter has 1 of her own. We'll get right back to it in just a moment. Teams have taken the court for this 4th set.
And serving to start the set is number 13, Megan Oldenberger of the Eagles.
So Oldenberger will get the ball to serve things off to start off set 4 for CARSON-NEWMAN. She has a good serve. Lander working in their zone. Ritz gets it on over where it's corralled by the Eagles. Streeter on the attack. McManus right there for it on the dig. Set up and again Ritz. Ballard trying to get the dig. It goes towards the scorer's table but kept alive. Blocked. Eagles corral it though. Bumped up high into the air. Streeter again off the tips of the blockers. Kept going. Krafka gets blocked. Kept alive. Back on over for Ritz who sends it on over. Roar right there for it. Ballard trying to set things up. Here comes the attack. Nice job there by Reed keeping the ball alive. Here we go as it's sent back over to the Eagles' end. Roar sets up for Streeter. Streeter looking for the back row. She's going to find a defender there for it. Krafka again. Back to Ballard with the setup from Roar. Here we go with Edwards. Great dig here from Lander. High into the air. Ritz sends it on over. Ballard right there for the dig. Roar again setting up for Streeter who tips it on over and finds some open court for the point. That's one way to start off a set, and CARSON-NEWMAN gets the hard-fought point for the first point of set 4. Oldenberger again serving, just gets it over the top of the net. Reed sets things up for Krafka. Ooh, great dig there from CARSON-NEWMAN's side, and not enough though as nobody could pick it up after the great dig from Roar and Ballard, Ballard. But we'll be tied up at 1. Lander takes over on serve with Krafka. Oldenberger receives the serve. Roar with the setup for Edwards. Edwards gets it on him, but Reed digs it out. McManus sets things up. Krafka attacking now. Dug by Roar, and it sails back on over and out. That will be a point for Lander. Krafka getting credited with the kill on that play. Lander up 2-1. Oldenberger again receives the serve. Set from Roar. Streeter attack. Gets through the blockers and down in front of McManus. That's a point for the Eagles. Ballard going back to serve it. Her serve will be received by Krafka. Reed sets it up. Here comes Ritz on the attack. Ballard getting the dig. Kept on the CARSON-NEWMAN side. Looking for an illegal attack. And Lander's going to get credited with the point. I say the ball was out on that one. So point Lander, they take the lead. McManus on the serve. Ballard receives it. Streeter setting things up. Oldenberger on the attack. Reed right there for it, though. McManus sets it up for Ritz. Ritz gets blocked at the net. High into the air. Lander trying to keep the play going, and they will as Reed sends it on over. Ballard right there for it. Roar sets it up. Edwards on the attack, and Edwards' attack just gets it on the line. That's a point for CARSON-NEWMAN. Kendall Cooley and Rademacher coming onto the court. Rademacher going back to serve. Serve on its way. Krafka to Ritz, back to Krafka as she sends it on over. Dug on out by Oldenburger. Rademacher sets for Streeter, who gets it on in where Krafka will dig it out. Tipped, back over to the Eagles' side. Set up by Ballard, attack on its way, that sails out. Reed laid off and was a good call. Point for Lander, they're back ahead. Boo Luther back out there. Serve on its way. Set up, attack, and that'll be a kill for for Alex Biro, as it looked like Luther had some trouble handling it. CARSON-NEWMAN ties this one back up, and he'll take over on the serve again, and Harnischweger will come off the bench for a fresh serve. Sent on over, and CARSON-NEWMAN caught sleeping again. This one coming from Madeline Reed getting the kill. Harnischweger couldn't catch up in time. Ira Ross serves it up. Attack on its way. Luther right there for the dig. Reed with the setup. Here's the attack again. And Kinsler splits the defenders for the kill. Lander up 2 now. Serve to Ballard. Sent on up by Rademacher. Oldenburger sends it on in where it's dug on out by McManus. Krafka sending on over with the attack. Ballard digs it out. And a ball handling error will blow the play dead. Point Lander. Serve on its way, and that just hits the back line. A service ace for Kyra Ross. Lander on a run now. And that run will be paused as we have a timeout from CARSON-NEWMAN. 8-4, Lander leading CARSON-NEWMAN here in set number 4. Kyra Ross will head back to serve again as we resume action. 8-4, Lander leading CARSON-NEWMAN in set number 4. And another service ace for Kyra Ross. Harnischweger got to it, but nobody else picked it up for her. Lots of service aces in today's game. 15 total between these two teams. Harnischweger receives the serve. Attack from Oldenburger. McManus right there for it, however. Tipped over the blockers, kept alive. Ballard sets it on up for Oldenburger again. McManus getting the dig. Reed sets things up for Krafka. Back to Ballard on the dig attempt. Shot coming on in. There's Luther for it on the dig. Krafka again sends it over. Ballard right there for it. Oldenburger on the attack. Luther gets a hand on it. Reed keeps it in play. And Ross cannot send it back on over the net as it went off the heel of her hand. And it will be into the net for a CARSON-NEWMAN point. They finally get the ball back on their side, and they'll send it to Alex Biro to serve. Luther receives the serve. Reed sets it up. Ross, her attack just hits the back corner. Great placement from Kyra Ross to get the kill, and it's 10-5 Lander. Kinsler now serving. Oldenburger received it, and she'll now attack. Luther right there for it. Set from Reed. Here comes the attack right on the line. And Mari Ashley getting credited with the kill, finding that line. This great placement, back-to-back plays where Lander has put it right where they needed to. And that is one play that's where it shouldn't have gone, as the serve goes right into the net off of Kinsler's hand. CARSON-NEWMAN takes over again, trailing 11-6. And they'll look to Taylor Rohr to serve them back into this. Ross received the serve, might have gone out. And Krafka gets it off the blockers and down. Another kill for Caitlin Krafka. Lander gets the ball right back. CARSON-NEWMAN unable to string points together this fourth set, as they were able to do relatively easily in the previous set. And Reed puts that one in the net, and it's back to CARSON-NEWMAN. Oldenburger back to serve. Set on up by Reed, and Mari Ashley couldn't get it on over. Ended up just keeping it on her side. Barely moved, actually, so it'll be a point for the Eagles. Oldenburger serving again. Ross received it. Here's the attack from Ritz. That sails out. Point Eagles.
Point Eagles.
Ross receives the serve, kept alive by Ritz and sent on over. Eagles setting up an attack of their own. That looked like went off the elbow there of Reed. And it still counts, but that one will not as it sails out. Point for the Eagles, and they are now within 2. It's 12-2 Lander. McManus receives that one. Reed sets it up. Here's Krafka on the attack through the blockers. Ballard bailing out Rohr, and it's sent on over by Streeter. Reed again sets it up. Here's the attack from Krafka, and Krafka powers her way through and gets the kill. And now Krafka will go back to the back line. Oldenburger received that one. Here's the attack from Edward McManus. Right there for it. Reed sets things up for Amari Ashley. Ballard sets for Edwards again, and Edwards finding the line, and she'll get the kill for CARSON-NEWMAN. They're back within 2. Serve on their side. Ballard going back now. Krafka receives the serve. Reed sets it up. Here's the attack from Ritz, and that one sails. Oh, I thought that sailed out for a moment, but Hannah Ritz gets credited with the kill. Must have just kissed the back line. Point for Lander. McManus serving. Not the best reception, but it's still alive. Streeter sending it on over. Krafka right there for it. Set from Reed. Here comes the attack. Blocked at the net and down. That is a point for Lander as it landed out. Kyra Ross gets credited with the kill. McManus still with the serve. Serve to Oldenburger. Rohr sets it up for Streeter, and Streeter's going to find an open space in the back row for the kill. Kendall Cooley and Rademacher coming back onto the court. Rademacher going right back to serve. 15-12 the score with Lander ahead. And that one sails out, point Lander. And we'll see Luther come back onto the court. She will go back to serve. Lander up by 4. Good serve, Ballard receives. Set on up at the net. Streeter sending it on over, and nobody there for it, as they all pulled back for risk of injury, so it'll be a point Eagle for the Eagles. Harnischfeger will come back onto the court and head to the back line. Her serve is on its way. McManus. Reed sets. Here's the attack from Kinsler, dug on out by Ballard. Set and attack. That's going to soar out by a mile. That will be a point for Lander. They're back within 4, and they have the serve again. Ira Ross serving. Her serve is to Ballard. Set on up by Rademacher. Attack, tipped off the blockers, kept alive. Sent on over. Eagles working with, and slipping and falling was Riley Kinsler. We'll make sure she's okay. And she is having a little trouble getting up and moving, so they're going to send her to the bench. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. We'll see Natalie Harris come on in place of Alex Biro as they attend to her on the bench. The score now 18-13 Lander. Ballard receives, set on up. Here's the attack from Oldenburger. Reed sets things up, and Kinsler puts it on the line for the kill. And we're going to get a timeout here. We'll take a short break. The score is 19-13. Lander leading Carson-Newman in set 4, though trailing 2-1. And we are back. Lander over Carson-Newman here in set number 4, 19-13. Carson-Newman leading in sets 2-1. Lander with the ball to serve. Ross serve, just gets over the top. A great reaction from Ballard to get to that one and avoid the service ace. And it pays off as Ross and McManus got confused and crossed up on the play. Oldenburger coming up with the kill there. Serve coming back to the Carson-Newman side. They trail now only by 5. And we will see Taylor Rohr come back to serve. Her serve on its way. Luther receives, set up by Reed, and what a kill by Kinsler. That was just textbook volleyball right there. Beautiful setup from Reed and a great kill from Kinsler. Now Kinsler will ride that high with the serve. Harnisch-Fager receives, Rohr gets it. Here comes the attack from Oldenburger, and it's a kill from Oldenburger. Luther rushed back and actually got a hand on it, surprisingly enough. I didn't think she'd even be able to manage that, but good effort not to give up on the play. CARSON-NEWMAN back within 5, and the serve back on their end. They're going to mop up the floor again. We've already had one slip, and hopefully that won't be, hopefully it's not a bad injury over there. She is out of the game. That's Alex Biro. So we will see Oldenburger serving now. Good serve, Luther right there for it. Reed with the setup. Here's Krafka. Off the blockers, kept alive by Reed. Ross sends it on over. Good attack there. Ballard just going to be able to send it over to keep the point alive. McManus to Reed again. Tapped on over the blockers. Oldenburger gets under it. Set up for Streeter, who gets it through the blockers. Back on over to the CARSON-NEWMAN side. They'll set up for another attack. Streeter. Attack off the hands of Luther. McManus bails her out, and Luther will try to send it over. She does. CARSON-NEWMAN setting up for another attack. Streeter to McManus on the dig. Here comes Krafka attacking, and Krafka puts it in the back corner for a kill. Lander up 21-15 now, trying to send this to a 5th and final set. And if we do go to a 5th and final set, and you're not familiar with volleyball, it's a shortened set. It's the first to 15 to win. Set up, here's the attack from Streeter. Bit of an awkward punch, but it kept the ball going. Rohr setting things up for Streeter again. McManus getting a clean dig there. Reed setting on things up for Krafka, who runs into the blockers, and it's down out. Point for Lander. And it's funny, looking at how the first set was played out, I said we might be going to 5 sets, and it's almost looking like we will, with Lander with a big lead. CARSON-NEWMAN trying to fight their way back. Reed sets things up. Ross's attack soars out through the back. And that is a point for CARSON-NEWMAN. Natalie Harris will go back to serve now. Ooh, nice serve. Good movement on that one. Attack on its way. That one sails. No, it just hit the line. Thought it sailed out. But Hannah Ritz just found enough of the line to get the kill. 23-16. Oldenburger receives the serve. Rohr with the setup. Here's Edwards on the attack, and Edwards places it beautifully right in front of Krafka for a CARSON-NEWMAN point. Cooley and Rademacher back onto the court. That tandem seems to come in and go off together. Rademacher back to serve. McManus receives. Reed sets. Here comes the attack from Ritz, and that sails out. Point Eagles. The ball is out. Point Eagles. Another serve on its way. McManus receives it nice and high into the air. Well, Reed will get to it. Krafka sending it on over. Ballard with the set of her own. Here comes the attack, and that goes right into the net. Misplay by Kendall Cooley. And it is set point Lander, 24-18. Again, trying to force that 5th and final set. And McManus will serve to do just that. Serve on its way. Oldenburger receives. High into the air. Oldenburger sending it back. Nice block. Nice solo block attempt. Sent back over to the Lander side. They'll set up the attack. Reed. Kinsler gets it over and down, and that is the end of the set. Kinsler getting the kill. Lander taking the set. And we will go to a 5th and final set. First to 15 wins. It's 25-18, the end of set 4. All tied at 2 apiece. welcome back. About a minute before we get to the fifth and final set. Again, it is first to 15, and that will determine the winner between CARSON-NEWMAN and LANDER. Stat leader for kills for CARSON-NEWMAN, Megan Oldenburger has 15. LANDER's Caitlin Krafka has 15 as well. Again, pretty even in terms of play style or play skill. Service aces, there have been an absolute ton of them. Kyra Ross and Hannah McManus both have 2 apiece for LANDER. Boo Luther also has 1 for a total of 5. On the CARSON-NEWMAN side, Rademacher and Ballard have 3 leading the team. Harnisfigger has 2 as well, and Marnie Streeter has 1. Again, between both teams, 15 total service aces. And in terms of dig, Morgan Ballard leading with 37 for CARSON-NEWMAN, Hannah McManus with 30, and Caitlin Krafka with 22, so she's got a double-double on the day. And we're about ready to start things off. Reed will serve for LANDER for set number 5. Good serve, having trouble with CARSON-NEWMAN. They're just going to send it on over off the hands of Rohr. Reed again setting things up. Here's the attack. That sails out, and CARSON-NEWMAN will strike first here in the 5th set. And a reminder, we'll be back in action in just a little while. 2 p.m. game. It was on the score sheet, it says LANDER versus CARSON-NEWMAN, but that is the game that's going on right now, so I'm going to assume it will be LANDER versus West Alabama at 2 o'clock. LANDER working it in their zone. Here comes the attack from Ritz. Oldenburger gets it. Rohr with the setup. Here's the attack from Streeter. McManus right there for it. Reed again. Attack gets through and down. Kill for Amari Ashley, and we are tied at 1. But LANDER will be back in action at 2. CARSON-NEWMAN is actually going to hit the road and just go down about 30-40 minute drive into Augusta, who is also co-hosting this tournament that's going on. Edwards on the attack there. Reed gets the dig. McManus sets things up for Krafka, who taps it over the blockers. Great job by Streeter to get there in time, and that's going to sail out, however, off of the hands of Edwards. LANDER up 2-1. Krafka to serve. Serve to Rohr, set things up. Attack from Streeter. It's going to be a kill for Streeter, as they couldn't recover in time. CARSON-NEWMAN ties things up. And Rademacher serving again. LANDER working in their zone with Reed. Here comes the attack from Ross. Ballard sets it up, tipped on over. Good dig there by McManus. Reed sets things up again for Ritz. Ritz gets it in off of the head of Oldenburger. Play still alive. It does count. And the whistle blows the play dead. It looks like a net violation, the possible call. That is the call. Point CARSON-NEWMAN. Serve on its way. Bad reception. Reed bails him out, though. Krafka sends it over. Ballard dug it on out. Here comes the attack. McManus setting things up now again for Ritz. Ritz's attack gets through the blockers, but Oldenburger's right there to bail him out. Streeter taps it on in. Ross right there for the dig. Reed sets it up. That one goes off the hands of Oldenburger and out. And it's a kill for Amari Ashley, and we are tied again at 3. Ball going over to the LANDER side. McManus with the serve now. Eagles working it. Streeter taps it through, but they're going to blow the play dead. Off of the antenna. Looks like Streeter's attack just nicked it. That will be good enough for a LANDER point. 4-3 Bearcats. McManus serves to Oldenburger. Set on up, but a ball handling error will blow the play dead. That one will be charged to Madison Rademacher. LANDER up by 2 now. Oldenburger receives the serve. Streeter attacks, dug on out by Krafka. Attack from Ritz, dug on out on the Eagles' side and sent right back over. McManus, attack from Ross, back to McManus off the blockers, and that one will soar out through the back off the hands of Reed. And the Eagles will take the point and take over on serve. And now Harnischfeger coming off the bench, going back to serve. Good serve. Can they recover in time? Yes, they can. They do send it back over. Almost a service ace for Harnischfeger. CARSON-NEWMAN having to work it now. Lander now setting up for an attack. Ritz runs into the blockers, and it is slammed down. Oldenburger and Harris teaming up for the block there, according to the stats. And we are tied again. Harnischfeger serving. Again, just taking a moment to mop up the court. 5-5 your score here in set 5. Fives are wild. And that one sails out, point Lander. We'll see Boo Luther come back onto the court, take her place at the line to serve. Serve on its way. Here comes the attack from Oldenburger. Krafka has trouble digging it. Ball's still alive, and now it's blown dead. Point for Lander. Oldenburger gets credited with the kill, and we're tied again. Serve back on over for Natalie Harris. Serve from Harris. McManus receives. Reed taps it on over, and Reed catches the defense sleeping with that one. Another point for Lander, 7-6 as they retake the lead. Ross on the serve. Set on up. Here comes the attack. Good dig there from McManus. Ross back on the attack again. This time CARSON-NEWMAN digging it out well. Ballard sets things up, and it's just going to be sent on over. McManus to Reed. Reed sets it up. Kinsler's attack corralled by the Eagles as they set up for an attack of their own. Oldenburger's attack dug out by Krafka. Ross back on the attack. This dig a little bit tough. Can they keep it in play? No, they cannot. And we see another slip and fall. And Lander will take the point, and now that they've got 8, we will switch sides. Lander leading 8-6. First to 15 again was the winner of this one in set 5. Right now Lander is closer. We'll see if they can hold the lead. Hey, a lot of slipping in today's game. Got to make sure that court is kept nice and dry. Here comes the serve from Ross, and that's going to sail out. Point Eagles. So Rohr comes off the bench, heads to the back line to serve. Eagles trailing by 1 here in the 5th set. Good serve, McManus gets it. Reed with the setup, the attack from Krafka, dug on out by Ballard. Set up by Rohr, the attack from Oldenburger, and it's blocked by Lander. Kinsler and Reed team up for the block, and they get the point, and their lead is again 2. Now Kinsler will go back to serve. Serve on its way. Harnischfeger receives, set up by Rohr. Oldenburger's attack will be good enough for a kill as it goes off the hand of Ross and over the Lander bench. And it's back, and the Eagles are back within 1. Oldenburger back to serve. 9-8 your score, Lander by 1. And here's the serve. Luther receives. Set on up. The attack from Krafka gets through the blockers, but is dug on out by Oldenburger. Attack from Streeter. Dug on out by Ross. Set on up by Reed. Great dig over the scorer's table. Kept alive by Streeter. And slipping and falling again, and that's going to cost a point, was Ballard. And that is playing a huge factor in this game. Just lots of slips and lots of falls. And you have to believe that had Ballard not fallen, she would have been able to get a clean reception on that and send it back on over. Lander will take advantage of it, leading by 2. Serve from Reed. Ballard receives, set on up by Rohr. Here's Edwards on the attack, and Edwards puts that one down right in front of Reed. Great shot, great attack, and great kill from Aaron Edwards. So now Ballard to serve it. Her serve to Krafka. Reed sets it up back for Krafka, who gets it over the blockers. Ballard with the dig there. Oldenburger sets for Streeter, who gets it on in. Ross right there for it, however. Set and attack from Amari Ashley, and she gets the kill off of the hands of Rohr. Lander back within 2, 11-9. Serve on its way from Krafka. Oldenburger receives. Rohr with the set. Streeter on the attack. Back over to Krafka, who gets the dig. Reed sets things up. Here comes the attack from Ross. Eagles setting it up. Streeter gets it through the blockers. McManus able to recover that one, and it's sent back on over. Edwards to Rohr. Tipped on over. Ooh, great job by Reed to keep the point alive. Ball back on over to the Eagles' side. Will set up for the attack. Edwards off the blockers. Krafka right there for it. Reed on the setup. Ross tips it over the blockers and down for the kill. And we're going to have a timeout called, looks like coming from the Carson-Newman side. Lander up 12-9 here in the 5th and final set between the Lander Bearcats and the Carson-Newman Eagles. We'll be right back. We are back from the timeout. Lander leading Carson-Newman in the 5th set by a score of 12-9, and they have the serve. Caitlin Krafka with the ball at the back line. Serve just gets over the net. Oldenburger received it. Here's the attack from Streeter. McManus getting a good dig there while Reed sets it up for Krafka. Dug on out by Rohr. Streeter just going to send it on over. Now Lander will set up the attack off McManus's hands. Tapped on over, wrong side of the antenna off the hands of, I believe, either McManus or Ross. That'll be a point for the Eagles. 12-10 the score. Rademacher coming on and serving. Serve on its way. Ross received, Reed sets, and it'll be sent on over by Krafka. Ooh, a short send over, now give Lander a chance to attack again. Reed setting things up, attack, off the hands of Oldenburger and out of the reach of Morgan Ballard, who couldn't reach it in time. 13-10 now the score, Lander 2 away from closing it out. Anna McManus will serve. On its way. Oldenburger receives. Set up by Rademacher off the hands of Streeter. And the blockers, Streeter going to try attack again. This time it gets over the blockers. McManus right there for it. Lander sending it on over now. Ballard getting the dig. Rademacher for Streeter, but a ball handling error blows it dead. That is a point for Lander. That a ball just hit me in the back of the head. I need to be put on concussion protocol now. But Lander has match point, 14-10. McManus serving for the match, but not before we get another timeout, and I have a chance to address my head wound. And we are back. Match point for Lander as they lead 14-10 on Carson-Newman. Trying to close this one out and get ready for their next matchup against West Alabama. McManus will serve for the set and the match. Streeter receives, set up by Rademacher, tipped on over, McManus getting the dig. High into the air, off the blockers, kept alive, sent back over to the Lander side, it's sent in. Ballard getting the dig there. Rademacher sets for Oldenburger. McManus now setting it up for Krafka. She gets it off the top of the net and down, and that is the match. Lander takes it in 5 sets, 3-2. Fifth and final set, final score, 15-10 Lander. We're going to take a bit of a break, but be back in around 2 o'clock for the next matchup between the same Lander Bearcats and West Alabama's Tigers. But until then, I'm Marcus Johnson. Stick around, we'll be back soon. But until then, have a good one.